Thank you for coming to the Coloring Corner, and welcome everyone to my Coloring Corner. Today we are going to do some play with pan pastels. I've printed this page off on the pastel paper, and I'm really hoping that this allows me to blend them and at least get some color on the page. I might be enhancing it with colored pencils at another day, but for today we're going to be using the pan pastels. I've got the metallics here and I've got regular pan pastels as well. Hello Calamity, welcome, welcome, welcome. And hello everyone out there in Lurker land. I do appreciate you all being here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. So I'm going to zoom on in, maybe. There we go. So that we can get started here. I'm going to move it down just a touch. All right. So we're going to work our way down. Because they are pastel, I don't want to run my hands through them too much because I don't want to create that smudging effect too much. Hello, Noelle. Hello, Connie. Hello, 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 everyone. So we're going to start up here on the top, and we're going to start with the flowers. And the one thing I don't have a whole lot of is floral colors, oddly enough. So we're going to start with and let's do the flowers in yellow. So we're going to start with a light yellow. And we'll be adding some other colors. I'm going to be blending this in with a clean trowel as well. Just getting a little bit of that darkness covered up there. You're multitasking? Uh-oh. Hello, Christina. What you multitasking with? Okay. Now we're going to take a little bit of a clean... Hello, Alex. Hello, Joyce. Hello, 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 everyone. Awesome. Well, I hope that she has a good nap. So I'm just going to take this little one here, and it's clean. I don't have any pastel on it. And we're just going to put in a little bit of the definitions back in there. Now we're going to take this one. Where is it? This one. Make sure that it's clean. And we're going to get a brighter yellow here on the very tip. And we're going to come in to those brighter areas. We're going to try to make sure that we leave some of that lighter color there. So with the pan pastels, you can blend brighter into lighter, but if you're going to go really dark, start your dark first and then put the lighter over top. because I just have a little bit of areas that I want that really light to show through, I'm going to do the brighter over top of it so that that light shows through. Yeah, it's laundry day for me too, but I'm streaming. I got some laundry started this morning, so I'm good. I'll get the rest of it finished up after stream. So, and then we're going to do the same thing down here on the bottom one. Actually, we're going to finish up the top ones first. I want to do the green. So we've got to get into the greens. I need another table. If it starts saying things, it's my fault. I've just put the pan pastels on top of my keyboard. Got the gardenias planted. Awesome. Alright, we're going to start with this one. Like I said, I want to go from the top down. So I'm not dragging my hand through it. And we're going to take the really thin one here. Try to define. A little tiny bit of this color. Nice. Awesome. No, happy birthday, early birthday to her. I hope she enjoys it. Hopefully she lays down and has a nap for you. All right. And we're going to come back with that lighter green. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry that you're exhausted from that. That would be very exhausting, absolutely. That's way too long in the grocery store. I was really hoping that the wider areas would give me ability to work on this page, but seeing that my tools might not be thin enough. So I'm going to try to use the side of the tool. Worst comes to worst, we create our own tool. I might have to get some of the eyeshadow. I might actually do that anyway. I'm going to use an eyeshadow brush because they do have that pointed tip, which does work really well. So, alright, so that's what we're going to use for these leaves here. Yeah, that was working better. Still a little too thick for some of the areas, but we're going to come through and add that darker green to it anyway. So. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Yana. Try to keep it in the proper area here. Gonna have a bit of a glow coming from it because, yeah, just because. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I have not used this paper before. I bought it when I went to Blick to to see if it's any better with the pan pastels than regular paper. I'm gonna be blowing in your ears a lot, just so you know. Be aware. Just be aware. Don't even try to move it. Okay. Just checking to make sure I have all the right directions there. Now, I think what this paper is going to give me the ability to do later on in the page is when I start pushing the color in for the background, it'll give me the ability to blend that a lot nicer, I think. Alright, now we're going to do the one down below. I have to try to remember to do things in a different order than with colored pencils. Because with colored pencils, it doesn't matter. You can go and make sure that each of the same elements are covered before moving on to the next element. Where when you want to not rub your hand across things, you kind of have to remember the elements in between first. So I did a bit of a boo-boo, and I'll have to fix that here in just a second. Put a little bit of green in there. Basically what the boo-boo was is I missed a butterfly. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just smoothing out and softening that black line on the flower so it's not so harsh. Okay, so we've got a butterfly there, so we're going to take a little bit of light purple. And hello, Allison. Greetings, greetings. Good to see you. Then we're going to start adding the darker purple. And then we're going to take a clean blending brush and we're going to blend that together. And we may have to come through and put some details in with colored pencil afterwards. Alright, and then we're going to come down with the greens. And worst comes to worst, if I rub any of it off, it's not a big deal. We can just come back and reinstall it. I am not good at this at all. This is going to turn out terrible. I'm sorry. It is going a lot faster than with colored pencil, though. I'll say that. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to do her. So we need our skin tones. And we need a fresh now because her face and everything is really tiny, we're going to use this color here. And I'll come through and I'll lift some of it off. Just want to put it down. So that we know what the areas are that it's going to be on. Okay. And then we're going to take the darker one. Need a small one. Little tiny details. Yeah. They really get me. And like I said, some of the smaller details we can definitely come back through. And add the colored pencil to it just to make it more prominent if we need to. Leaving that lighter color for the highlight. Like so. All right. Okay, now for her dress. We're going to grab another. Well, let's do her hair first. We're going to grab another one of these and we're just going to dab it, lifting up any mounts that are loose. There we go. And then for her hair, start with this one. So this is yellow ochre shade that we're going to start with. Okay, that's wing, that's hair, that's hair. Try to make sure I get the things that are hair and not the things that are wing. Alright, and then I'll take just a touch of this one. Put our shadows in. If you get too much down, just take a clean side and lift it up. Hello, Angela. Yeah, I'm almost finished the only mermaid page that I did this month, or last month. Okay. Now for her wings. Oh, no, you're perfectly fine. You're not late. You get here exactly when you need to be here, my darling. All right, so for her wings, we're going to take a metallic purple. I don't know if you can see the glitter in it, but and a little bit under here. Oh, that's part of her dress. That's the wrong color. Oh well. It'll be taking over with the other one, so. And doing large areas like this, I'm liking the way the paper grabs. Doing the smaller areas, not very fond of it, but the paper is working really well towards doing these larger areas. So the new bed got put in yesterday. We slept on it last night. It wasn't horrible, but it's a new bed. It needs to be slept on a few times before it's not stiff. There wasn't any off-gassing off of it though, so that was cool. Alright, now we're going to take a little bit of that darker purple that we used on the butterfly. We're going to come in like so. This is pan pastels on pastel paper. Hello, Wicca! Alright, there's one wing done. We're going to get to the wing in the back here. And then this one back here. Okay, and there's her wings done. Okay, now we're going to take, let's do this one. And we're going to do her dress. We're going to do heavy coloring of it, and then we'll come back through again with the darker color. This is a metallic red, so it's a shiny red, and then we'll come back through with a little bit of this metallic red mixed with some of the regular red. So I'm actually going to try to mix it so that we get a little bit of a lighter red for the dark, because I don't have a light pinky red other than the metallic one, which is what we're going to use for the highlight colors anyway. So yeah, it's got a lot of the metallic in it, so it's really translucent. So once we put the other red to it, you will see the red come out. It is a pinky red, but there is actually a lighter pink one as well in the metallics. Alright, now we're going to take this and this, and we're going to mix a little bit of that color. With our red. Oh, lurking clean away. I know it's Sunday, so it's, a lot of people's day to get all of those things done, including my own. So definitely lurk away and do what you need to do for the rest of the week to be ready for the week. I just be here trying to not to make a mess. Yep, that happens too. I sit down and then suddenly cleaning becomes a distant memory of things that I should be doing. I'm not sure if you guys can start seeing the red in it yet, but good. All right, and then this part here. No, get into there. Okay, a little bit more up through here and down through there. All right. Then we take this one and we just put some of the highlights back in. And there we have that. All shiny and pretty. I'm going to knock off the extra so that I don't rub it around. Now we're going to finish up the butterflies here and then continue down. So the first one we're going to do, let's see what color. No. Okay, so we're going to do the first one in this yellow. This is a metallic yellow. Again, the butterflies are something that we're probably going to have to come back through and clean up with some colored pencils, just to make sure that they have the definition that we want, because they're really tiny and we're not getting good definition on them. So then we're going to take the bright yellow. And then this one down here we're going to do in blue. Hopefully the keyboard doesn't start typing things to you. And a little bit of this darker blue. So I will say pan pastels do work better on larger surfaces than smaller ones, especially with the tools I have. This one I'm going to add a little bit of that green. Making a mess of the butterflies, that's all I'm saying. Butterflies are messy, but that's okay. We'll work with it. They may be something that we end up reestablishing afterwards. As long as I know that where they are, that's all good. And there is one up there that I completely missed. There. Okay. Well. Alright, now we're going to finish the stem and the leaves here. You know what? I probably should have done the background first, but what you gonna do about it, right? Alright, I'm I'm going to move up. There we go. Like so. Okay. Now I need that green. Where is it? There it is. Thank you, Dawn. So this page is done by Molly Harrison, as you may already know. I did forget to tell you all what it was. I really like Molly's work for pastels because it usually has a good amount of background surface. Another great one for pastels is portraits. Portraits are wonderful for pastels because of this surface area where you can blend to get those portrait colors. Okay. All right. Now that's taken care of. Now what we're going to do is we're going to brush this off. Just going to give it a little bit of space to breathe. And we're going to take a very light blue, first of all. And a brush if I can find it. Well, this one will do. And we're going to take this and we're just going to put that into there. Not too worried about going over the butterflies. Like I said, if need be, I'll come back in and add the brighter colors to the butterflies. And I'm just moving it all the way down to the bottom. Went over that leaf, but that's okay. we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to do one side at a time. And then we're going to grab this blue. And then we're going to grab this blue. Hello, Callie. Hurry back, Angela. A little bit of this blue. And we're going to do the same thing all the way down. And building the mixture of the light to dark blues into the corners. You just come through and touch up. As need be. All right, now that smaller area, I'm going to use a brush. I can find my brushes. Where did I put them? There they are. I'm going to use this brush. And then we're going to take this brush and dust it off. Well, those just don't want to stay where I want them to stay. Alright. Awesome. I'm almost all done here, so I'll finish this up and we'll take it outside and I'll spray it. And then we'll come back through with the pencils and fix the butterflies and any details that need to be fixed. Alright. We'll see what happens when we spray it and if we need to rework some of the colors. Because sometimes when you spray it, the colors lessen a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to take a little brush. Push that blue off a little bit. mix the purple. Mix a little bit more of the yellows. All right. Okay, so it's all done with the pastel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom it out so you can see the mess on my desk and see the page itself. So that's all done with the pastels. Now I'm going to spray it, and then we'll come in and touch up these butterflies and any detailed areas that we need to do. All right, so I'm going to put you back over on the welcome page. You can watch those pictures fly by, and I will be back in just a few moments here. I am going to mute the mic and like I said, transfer the camera over so you can watch something other than my desktop. All right, I will be right back. Okay, so we've got it all sprayed. You may be able to see the spray on it. It makes it a little shiny. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take Let's use the Koh-i-Noors. And we're going to do our butterflies. So I want this one. I'm going to zoom you in so you can actually see what I'm doing. We're just going to put in a little bit of detail on the butterfly. And I just used a workable fixative. I find that if I spray it outside and let it dry in the sun for a couple of seconds, it works out really, really well. Yes, I was scared because I don't use these things and I always screw them up. Come down with the brown. Okay, and then a yellow for this butterfly down here. The butterflies aren't very well defined. These smaller ones don't have very well definition, I guess is the word. They're too much into the grayscale, but that's okay. We'll make them stand out. And take a bit of orange. Just a little bit, just to make it stand out a little better. Now, with the workable fixative, you can still add some of the pan pastel back in. So if you find an area that you didn't put enough down, you can still come back and add a little more to make that color thicker. Alright, and this one down here, we want the bit of blue. These ones down in the lighter areas are a little more defined than the others. And then this one over here, we want that yellow green. I'm going to move you down a little bit so you can actually see what I'm working on. The one thing with the workable fixative, when you color over it, it feels a little gritty, so you'll notice that. I know you meant to spell it that way. That's pretty much how I felt, so yeah. Alright, there's that. Now this one up here, we're going to add a little bit of this color. And now that I've got the workable fixative on it, I don't have to worry too much about it pushing that color into areas I don't want it to be. Okay. Then we're going to take this one. Like so. I'm going to do that here too, just to define that edge there. Same with up here. Just so we can see the edges of the flowers a little better. Like so. And then we have a little butterfly up here. We're going to do that one in pink. And then the brown for the body. Like so. Okay, now I think I want to take just a little tiny bit more of this red. And re-add it a little bit here. The one thing with putting the workable fixative down is any areas that you may have messed up before putting the fixative down, they're stuck there. You can't fix them anymore. Sorry. So make sure you go through and erase the areas that you find that you made a boo-boo before you put the fixative on it. All right. And there we have her. I'm going to zoom her back out so that you guys can see it completed and the mess that I've made. All right, so that's all done. What do you guys think? And that is the pan pastel paper, or the pastel paper. I won't say pan pastel because it's not specific. And workable fixative. It's a Molly Harrison page. And if I turn this light on, you might be able to see the glitters in it. It's shiny. No, once the fixative gets on there, it holds it in place. The workable part of it is you can work over top of it. There's some fixatives or glosses that once you put them down, you can't put anything on top of it. It'll just slide right off. I can. So when I use a workable fixative, like I could probably lift some of it off, but it's still going to have that stain underneath it because of the fixative has added that moisture to it to give it that coating. I'll put all my pastels back in their places. I have so many different pan pastels. I need to actually get another tray because I've got 2 trays that are full. I've got one more hiding somewhere. I don't know where I put it. And then I've got my metallics, and then I've got some extras. But I need another tray so that I can put them all in one place. I don't remember what this one was for. I think there's one around here somewhere that I had a lid on, and I can't remember where I put it. Let's just put it on this one. All right. Now I have used all sorts of tools. The main tool that I like to use for small details is just basic eyeshadow applicators. They work fantastic. This is a lip gloss applicator. It works really good for very tight little areas. However, it is hard. So the inside of it is quite stiff. So it's not going to blend as smoothly. This one here is a pouncer. It's used for ink more than anything else, but it holds a lot of the pastel, as you can probably see on the paper towel. It holds a lot of that pastel, so you can get lots of color just by dabbing it, which is great. Well, I can see you. The other ones are the soft tools that you use for pastels that I also used. And this is also a soft tool that you can get with the pastels as well. It comes with little tiny heads like this that just pinch in, and there you have it. I have the other tools, such as the wedges and that sort of thing. I've never really enjoyed using those. I do have finger daubers as well that I like to use with pastels, but only on really large areas. But yeah, that is me using pan pastels to color a page on pastel paper. I did find that it did hold the pastel in place a lot better than on regular paper. A regular paper is quite smooth for pastels, and I did not get as much of it up my arm as I thought I would. So, um, yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. I think it's really pretty. I really like pastels. They are definitely one of my favorite mediums to use for backgrounds. I'm not all that great with coloring them. Yes, I got the paper at Blix. It is, and you can get it off of Amazon as well. It's the Strathmore pastel. Now, I just used the first page in the package, but there's all different colors in here. So there's the gray blue color that I just used. There's a green gray color. There's a light yellow cream color and a brown and a sandy color as well as a yellow. So yeah, there's all sorts of colors in the little 24 sheet set that I got. It says that it's good for oil pastels as well, so we might try it again with oil pastels. So that one is just with the pan pastels, with the soft pastels. Now the next one we do, I might do it with the oil pastels. What do you guys think? Should we try it with oil pastels? Now, what color should we print it on? Should we go with the same color so that we can see the difference between how the color stands out on the gray blue? Okay. So the next one I'll do in oil pastels. It'll be another Molly, maybe. I really wanted to do this page, but it wouldn't print through because it's a PDF. So I might do this page, try to do this page in oil pastels. What do you guys think? I'll have to reprint it on the pastel paper, but I really like this page. It's Selena finish. So if I can get this one to print, because it's got the same dimensions to her dress as basically this does, it has a little more detail in it, but with oil pastels are easier to get into those details. So I think what we can do, if I can get this to print on this paper, which is what I wanted it to do earlier, but it wouldn't. The next one we'll do next Sunday will be the oil pastels on the pastel paper. And then on Saturday we will try something else. Hey there, Marilyn. I'm glad I was able to keep you company while you put your dishes away or your groceries away. Now I have to go put my dishes away. Actually, I need to put my laundry away. I need to go fold laundry, get another load in, and get the ribs in the lurking is your middle name. Yes, yes. I need to get dinner in the oven and get that started. And yeah, I know it's a little bit earlier. It's only been an hour and a half, but this took only an hour. So I'm glad that it I finally got one done at this. I got one done in June. Hi there, Shannon. All right, guys, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. Of course, we will see you again on Saturday. I will choose something to color with colored pencils by Saturday. And what we'll do is on Saturdays, we'll color with pencil or marker. And Sundays, well, with colored pencils. We'll do Saturdays with colored pencils. And Sundays, we'll just experiment with different things. And try to at least get quick little pages done, whether it be with markers, oil pastels, paints, soft pastels, things like that, on a Sunday afternoon. All right, guys, thanks all for coming and hanging out. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax and color and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye bye for now. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you again on Saturday.